Hello everyone, good morning. In today's video we are going to discuss how to deploy a Docker image, that is a Node.js application. It's a very simple application. How to deploy it into the AWS EC2 instance we are going to see with a live demo today. So before that, the prerequisites are you do have a Docker setup, means Docker installed in our system. How to install means you can go to Docker official site and you can download Docker desktop. How to check whether Docker is installed or not means you can open a command prompt and you can check Docker -version over there. Yeah, if you get this output means Docker is installed in our system. See, Docker -version, Docker is installed. And step number 2 is you need to run the Docker desktop. In my case, it's already up and running. That's the reason I could able to get that version details and all. If I get Docker images, see, this command is completely working fine for me. So that's the first prerequisite. The second prerequisite is you should have a DockerHub with a sample repository. In my case, I have already created one repository called this is the name, which is 09563. So that's the second prerequisite. Coming to the third prerequisite, you should have access to the AWS console. In this case, we are creating AWS EC2 instance and we are deploying our Docker image. That's created Docker image into the EC2 instance. Okay. So I have documented. I will put this hash node document into the description. You can follow through this document. So the basic idea is deploy Docker images into EC2 instance, access it using public IP. Okay, we'll follow the step by step. First step is clone git repo. Here high level I mentioned the 6 steps. In the below I have put the screenshots and the relevant commands for the each step. It's very simple process. Okay, this is the step number 1. Let me go to the empty repository, empty folder. I am opening this folder in Visual Studio. The shortcut is we should click command over here, go to the command prompt, then type code space dot. It will directly opens Visual Studio for us. Okay, this is my Visual Studio. I am clicking on this option to open it is by defaultly open PowerShell, but in my case I required either git bash or command prompt. That's fine for me. In this case I'm opening git bash. Okay, we'll follow the step by step approach. The step number 1 I mentioned here is okay, yeah, just copy this using the below git clone command, download the git repo into local repo. I have the git repo where my code is resided for this Node.js application. I will go through the code once we download or clone the git repo. I just copy pasted the command git clone. This is my repo where our code resides in. Okay, code got downloaded, present working directory, if you ls, please bear with me. Okay, ls Node.js demo. Okay, this is a very basic application which contains node app.js, which is like a main function in Java. So the content what is present in this will reflect in our application. So whatever we put here, it will reflect over there. So we can put welcome to hello world. We can type like hello welcome to the sample Node.js application deployed in AWS EC2. Okay, we can put it like this. And here what I will do is okay, so this is our application and this is package.json, which is like a properties file for Node.js application. This is a Docker file, which is important file for us. So for 1 minute we'll go through this. Okay, the base image we are taking from Alpine image. This is the command for that. You can refer the comments over there. And working directories, this is the default working directory. Copy, I'm copying the JSONs to the current directory, package.json file. Then this is the main thing. In order to run with the Nodejs application, this is the npm command we should use, like a Python, pip, and also Java, jar for Java, like we have npm for Nodejs application. Then we are exposing the application to the port 3000. So I mentioned that in documentation too. So whenever we are trying to access this particular application, we should access like this: public IP colon 3000. Okay, so finally we are running the node app.js, means this is app.js, right? So we are running that particular app.js through that command. Basically this command means it's execute node space app.js, it will execute that command. Okay, so our Docker file is ready. Now I am preparing, or I am building a Docker image from the Docker file. So the command is, if you ever have Docker, that is fine, or you can refer my documentation. So the command is basically docker build -t for tagging. Okay, so what is the tag that you want to put for your application? You can put that particular tag. Okay, now I can put sample Node.js application. Okay, now I'm in which path I'm currently. 1 second, present working directory, pwd. I am one step ahead, so let me jump into the current folder where my Docker file present. Okay, now we can execute that command. There is no problem actually. If you mention dot, means in the same path the Docker file should present. Okay, docker build -t tagging, the same name I'm copying here. Sorry, -t next dot. It will create a Docker file, Docker image for us. That is the step number 2 that I have mentioned here. Build a Docker image and tag it. I'm currently executing this particular command. Okay, if that is completed, now we need to tag that particular Docker image in order to push it to the DockerHub. So the command is docker tag. First let me list out the images, Docker images. So this is the image that present over here. This is image, right? Latest image 24 seconds ago. Now we need to apply tagging. For that use the command that I mentioned here, docker tag. What's the old image name? Means image name present over here, and your repository name / the image name with version. So do the same thing, docker tag. In my case this is the image or repository, you can say. So my DockerHub, your artifactor repo name. In my case I have DockerHub. Here is my repo name, so I'm copying the same / the same name I want to give, and let us say version v1. Okay, so my tagging is done, but it's still tagging in progress. Let me click Docker images once again. You can see, right, this is the image that we just tagged. You can see the image ID is same. Now what we can do is we need to push it to the DockerHub. So the step is here, the step push into the DockerHub. So the command is docker push. The complete image name we have to give. So Docker images, 1 second, listing down the images. Then docker push, you need to give the repo name / image name / v1 version 1. Okay, in meantime, once it's done, we can log into the DockerHub and we can see I'm refreshing my DockerHub repository page. We'll see whether our Docker image push is reflected here or not. Once it's complete, we could able to see Docker image in our DockerHub. Okay, let's wait for 1 more minute. Yeah, it's completed. So you can see sample, so please ignore there's a typo, sample Nodejs application, it's over there, published less than 1 minute ago. Okay, this is done. Now our 1 second. Now our step number 3 also completed. So coming to the step number 4, this is the step that we know. Our target environment is AWS EC2 instance, so we need to launch an EC2 instance, correct? So let me click on launch instance, click on that Node.js application. Let me name something, Node.js application. Please ignore typos. Okay, I'm keep it as it is. Amazon Linux I'm taking, so this is also fine. Security group, as in our code it is mentioned, we are exposing our application over the port 3000, so make sure we should open that particular port 3000. Okay, launch instance. Oh, 1 second, I forgot to select key pair. Select any existing key pair, or if you don't have any existing key pair, you can create a new key pair. Okay, I am clicking on launch instance. Let me take a screenshot. Why? Because the particular step missing over here. Let me try to put a screenshot of this launch instance over there. Okay, okay, that's fine. Just I'm taking screenshot to update this particular documentation. Okay, after that okay, so we'll check the status of our EC2 instance. It's currently in running state. This is our application, this is our server, right? Click on connect. There's an option called EC2 instance connector. We can directly connect to this one, this particular EC2 instance. Let me cross check once recording is going or not. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, we can check first instance is fine. You can check disk says yeah, comments are working fine, means our instance is completely up and running. So now we need to install. Why we need to install Docker is our intention is to deploy a Docker image into the EC2 instance. By default, EC2 instance won't come up with a Docker install. So we need to install Docker. If it's already there, we can ignore that. So let me check whether Docker is already installed or not. I'm clicking Docker. See, Docker command not found. So we need to install it explicitly. I have a comments for that. First, we move to the sudo user. Switch into the sudo user. Sudo su means super user. Now I am the super user. The command is yum install Docker. I'm keeping y means it will prompt yes or no, so it will by default accept yes. Okay, so now it is installing Docker in our virtual machine or EC2 instance. Okay, now we can again check Docker hyphen version. Yeah, now it is fine. So Docker is installed in our system, but we make sure we need to start the Docker engine in order to it should run Docker. It should serve Docker run or Docker any other commands. The Docker engine or Docker container should be up and running for the time execute this command. why m over here, m is not required. Okay, service docker start. Okay, that is fine. Now our docker is up and running. So by default we don't have any images in this particular thing, right? Docker images in this virtual machine, we don't have any images. Okay, there are two options. We can pull the image from the DockerHub, and using that image we can run we can create a container out of that image. That is one step. Or you can directly run docker, you can directly execute dockerhub command. It automatically download or pulls the image from the docker hub, and it will create a container out of that particular image. Okay, we're clear, right? There are two steps. We can either use docker pull the image name, on the second step we can run this command, or you can directly run this command. It's internally calls or internally pulls the docker image for us. Okay, so we can execute docker pull. Make sure you should be authenticated to the DockerHub. In my case it's a public image, so it will default by default it could able to pull that particular image. Okay, if it's in a real-time organization, make sure you should have authenticated to the Docker image, Docker repository, or any artifactory. It might be Nexus artifactory, or it might be JFrog artifactory. We should our system or our virtual machine or whatever it may be should have authenticated to that particular artifactory. Okay, fine. Then this is repository, this is our image name, the version that we pushed is v1. So just copy this particular thing. So docker pull, not docker pull, as we mentioned we can directly execute docker run command, right? Docker run -d detached mode I am running, -p port forwarding 3000 we mentioned, right? 3000, that we exposed this application to the 3000 port. Okay, now docker run -d detached mode -p. Now we have to provide our image. This is the image, and we have to mention the version. Just for cross checking, I am checking the command is correct or not. You find a docker run -d -p 3000, our repo name /image name /version. Okay, so unable to find the image, as I mentioned. If image is already there in our local, it will directly create a container out of it. In our case image is not there, that's the reason it is pulling image from this repository. Where this repository present is, in our case it's a DockerHub. Okay, see, image pull is complete, download image complete. So our final step, what we need to check is this is done, right? So access application using public IP. Let me grab the public IP of my EC2 instance. Okay, 3000 port I am trying to access. Okay, see, hello world, welcome to the sample Nodejs application deployed in AWS EC2. So where we kept this message is, if you check in our app.js, so here we kept our message. So this is how we could able to deploy any, in this case we deployed a Nodejs application. Maybe you can write your source code in .NET or Python or Java. Our main thing is a Docker image. Once you create a Docker image out of that particular source code, this is the same process that we could able to deploy a Docker image in a EC2 instance. Thank you. If you have any doubt, please ask me in the comment section. I will definitely reply to each and every comment over there. And yeah, I'll try to keep the link of the document in the description. Maybe I need to do few updates. There are few typos over there. I'll do that. Okay, thank you. If you are new to our channel, please do consider to subscribe. I'm also made few videos related to the DevOps and on AWS. You can refer. Maybe that will motivate me to do more videos in the future. Thank you. Thanks for watching.